Were you at all surprised when Steve Austin turned down working with Hogan?
I don't know. I don't know, because it was all really weird, because it was like Hogan was coming in and we didn't know which one he was going to work with. It was either Rock or Austin. And, there were issues with Hogan and Austin at that time. And I think that Austin regrets them now. Mm-hmm. And probably, it's a different mentality in today and in 2002. I think, maybe he thinks that, he could have, and then, whatever it was. No, I wasn't surprised, because you also had the deal of Austin in his mind had surpassed Hogan. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know if there was bitterness in the sense of how the whole WCW thing went down when they came in. You got to remember, they came in and Steve Austin went from being a key guy to being a nobody. He lost to Jim Duggan in 30 seconds after he was doing that feud with Steamboat over the U.S. title. Then he was jobbing to the Renegade. You know what I mean? He was, to Hogan's guys and Hogan's thing. And now I'm bigger than Hogan. So I don't need him. No, now again, do you think it would never happen? Probably figured at some point it would happen, and just it didn't, because Austin was injured. I mean, if Austin wasn't injured, 2005 or so, one of those years, it would have happened for sure.
Let me ask you this question: do you have any regrets, career-wise, from not having a program of significance with Hogan?
Yeah, you know what? The thing about never having to run with Hogan, guys, man, I was running so hard back then, hard-headed as hell. The word on the street that, he wasn't never going to do any favors for anybody. I damn sure wasn't going to do any favors for anybody who wasn't going to favor back, if you know what I'm saying. And it's funny, when you listen to professional athletes talk about each other, two basketball players, they'll rarely put another guy over. They'll talk in a complimentary tone, but they won't give that guy too much credit. Same thing was going on, I would think, and from me, but you'd have to ask Hulk Hogan this question to get his opinion. But hey, I recognize everything that guy did, but I also recognize everything that I did, and I know how I like to work and how I like to fly in the ring and do my business. And he was open to having a match.
I thought so.
Me, not so much. I thought the styles would clash. I didn't think it'd be that great of a match. And this is me outworking me. I love the money that I made in the wrestling business, but I won't do a high-profile match just to get a good payoff, because I'd love to have the money, but it ain't about the money. It's about the match and the program, and if I'm not going to enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. And I guarantee you, if my head would have been in a little bit different place, and I wasn't as competitive or hard-headed as I had been, then, by all rights, a program should have happened. But again, I think that was, and me physically and mentally where I was at, I could go. I think Hogan would have probably been a step or two behind that. That wasn't acceptable to me, and I didn't want to slow myself down. And I say that with all due respect to Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea, because the guy had a hellacious run. That was my thought process back in the day.
I think, Steve, quite honestly, whether it's a one-off or and if I had been picking up the pencil and was going to pencil in the match and book an angle, it'd be a one-off, one time. I don't need to go to the well and see if we can get two out of something that we're lucky to get the one out of.
Okay, and then let's go to the finish room.
Yeah, that's easy.
It's easy for you and me.
Well, see, yeah, he gets a stunner. You're staying. He's leaving. You give him a hug or shake his hand like a man when it's over, and he's as whole as he could be if you chose to do that. Or you do it the next night on Raw when all of a sudden, he maybe somewhere down the road, it's you and him in a tag match. I'm just looking at, I don't see why it would be hard to do business. You wouldn't have that 30-minute knockdown, drag-out, athletic match like he had the 3 times at WrestleMania with Rock, because he was an athletic son of a gun.
Right.
You know, Terry.
That's kind of where my head was at, though, in having those kind of matches. I didn't think we could deliver at that level. And when you go to what him and Rock did at WrestleMania 18,
Right.
oh, they did nothing.
No.
They had the people in the palm of their hands. It was one of the most electric crowds that I'd ever seen, and everything they did got the best response possible. It was an unbelievable matchup. So they did it without really doing anything, and everything they did meant so much.
Yeah.
I'd take my hat off
You could
to those
done.
2 guys for the match that they put on that night.
Yeah, that was awesome, and it stole the show because everybody thought it was going to be good, but nobody thought it was going to be a lifetime memory. If you were in the building,
Never forget it.
in Toronto, and Lawler and I were lucky as hell because we were at ringside getting to call the match. That's a lifetime memory.